This morning, you just have me. Anthea had to go deal with something, so this morning you just got me. As you guys know, today's topic is, are relationships complicated or do people complicate them? Again, it's going to be a very fascinating topic. We're going to play the promo video, guys, and then we're actually going to get into today's topic. So let's just get straight right into it. Before I get started, guys, as you know, please like, share, subscribe. It's free, guys. Like, if you rock with the content, you rock with what we're saying, it's free. Now, our content's not for everybody. Some people are gonna be like, I hate those guys. Some people are gonna love us. We're very biased. Either way, we don't care. We keep going. We keep creating the content that people want to hear. And as I said, we're only here to add value to the space. We're not here to say that we're the masters of the space. I honestly think anybody you listen to when it comes to dating and relationships adds value to the space. And I think that's what it comes down to. If you can add value to the space where you're making people's lives better, date better, whatever, I think you're doing something right. So we're only really trying to really focus on adding value to this space, so people can make better decisions when it comes to who they date and who they interact with on a friend based level. So let's get into today's topic. Are relationships complicated or do people complicate them? Honestly, that's a very easy question, but we're actually going to deep dive into it. It's people. People complicate relationships for so many reasons, right? Because relationships are very easy. Chris Rock said it the best. Two people can move a couch very easily together when they're working together, right? But when it comes to the relationship dynamic, everyone's trying to get superiority, right? They're trying to get their needs met. The other person's trying to get their needs met. And it's literally just two bulls in a china shop. Because the thing is, in relationships, everybody's different, right? Everybody has different wants. Everybody has different needs. Everybody has different things that they want to, you know, get from a relationship. Without understanding is the question should be, what do you want to give to get what you want? And a lot of people don't like the sound of that because they'll say, oh, well, hey, like you're only willing to give me unless I give to you. A relationship is a place to serve one another. Now, I know some people don't like the word, but I'm talking about the relationship. Think about it. I'm not talking, like, say I'm in a relationship with Sally, right? I'm not talking about Sally serving me. I'm talking about the relationship that we are in. Can you serve the relationship? What are you bringing to the relationship to serve it? That's what it comes down to, right? So a lot of times, a lot of people don't want to serve the relationship. They just want to take from the relationship. And that's why you have to be very careful. And that's why on this podcast, we talk about it all the time. Be careful who you deal with. You have to vet your prospects. Like, whoever it is you're getting to know, get to know them and have your criteria and standards. And if that person doesn't work for you, they don't work for you. You're not taking a loss. And I need you to understand that very clearly. How are you losing if that was never for you? You're not. And you hear us on this podcast a lot, hear the term build a girlfriend or build a boyfriend. So what you'll do is you'll date somebody and then you'll try to like build them and fix them into what you want. And that doesn't work either, because you see both people still end up being miserable because the other person's like, why are they trying to change me? Why are they trying to fix me? Why don't they just accept me for who I am? And that is one of the biggest things on this podcast. We always tell people, when you date someone, accept them for who they are. Don't try to change them. Don't try to do this. Take what they tell you up front. And honestly, once you can do that, things move a lot easier for you. Now, I'm going to say relationships are not easy either. And I'm going to make that very clear. They're not hard, but they're not easy either because they do require some level of work, right? You can't be in a relationship and do nothing and expect to get everything. It doesn't work that way either. If you're going to be in a relationship, when you come together, you both sit down with each other like grown adults and say, hey, this is what I need to be in a relationship with you. The other person says, this is what I need to be in a relationship with you. And how can we bring that together and make it work? And that's the problem. We're not having these conversations. So then you end up dating somebody and then you end up finding out that they just do some things that you don't really agree with. Or maybe you do some things that they don't agree with, or vice versa. And then next thing you know, you're in this relationship and you're unhappy. Because what you should have done, as I said, sit down with them and assess. It's not hard to assess. You sit down and say, hey, this is how I feel about XYZ. This is what I'm looking for. So, for example, let's say you say, as a man, like I'm a man, and you sit down and you say, well, I'm looking for marriage. Anything outside of that, I'm not going to deal with. The other person says, I'm not looking for marriage. Why would you date them? Why would you continue to entertain them? That's complicated. You are literally signing up for complicated because this person, when someone doesn't want what you want, you are signing up to be hurt. This person is literally, indirectly telling you that they're going to hurt you because you're never going to get what you want from them. It's the same thing if the person tells you that they don't want children and you decide to move forward with them. You are signing up to get hurt. And then you blame them for hurting you when you are the one that chose it. It's like you go to a restaurant and you order spaghetti and you take a bite out of it and you're like, well, I don't like spaghetti. Well, why the hell? Why did you order it? So that's what I'm saying. We need to be more selective in what it is we deal with. And people, as I said, people complicate relationships for so many reasons, but it's more of when they're coming in, they're just like, well, what can I get from you? Instead of what can I give? Having the attitude of servitude. That's what I like to say, because when you come into a relationship, let's say I'm dating someone, right? And we're having dinner, everything's going fantastic. And she says, well, hey, I really like you. I'm like, I like you too. And then we establish that in this relationship, this is what the relationship's going to be about. So as a man, because I believe in gender roles, now I understand that not everybody does, and that's fine. To each is his own. I'm not here to convince you or anything because that's emotionally exhausting for me. But I'm going to tell you, what are you going to get from me? You're going to get support. You're going to get loyalty. You're going to get masculine energy. You're going to get leadership. Those are the things that you're going to get from me as a man. I'm going to lead the relationship. I'm going to be the head and the neck. I believe in that from a biblical standpoint. But yes, I'm going to be that type of person for you in your life. I'm going to give us guidance. I'm going to give us direction in the relationship overall. And if she says, well, hey, that's exactly what it is I'm looking for, perfect. And then she's going to say what it is she brings to the relationship. And then by us both bringing something to the relationship or things, that's where the relationship is going to thrive. Because to be honest, this is just me though. I've met women that said, I'm looking for a man to lead me. Now, there's some other women that be like, oh, that's terrible. Why would you want a man to lead you? Lead yourself. That's fine. That's their preference. Leave them alone. That is my biggest thing. Leave them alone. If that is their preference, you're not dating them. Why does it matter to you? And you know what I mean? Like even for us, like on this podcast, I don't know if we've covered it yet, body count. Why does it matter to you if you're not dating that person? It shouldn't matter to you. If that person's a cheater, if that person does whatever, you're not dating them. You have your preferences. Date people within your preference. That's what I always say. Date within your preference. You know what it is you want. You know what it is you're looking for. Date people within that realm. It's not that complicated. Because if you date someone that wants what you want, the relationship moves a lot easier. It doesn't move left or right, or it doesn't go hard. It's two people moving a couch and you're building towards a goal. It's like one of my girlfriends, I told her, hey, if you date somebody, make sure that they have a plan for you. She was like, well, what do you mean? Why would you date someone that just says, yeah, I like you, but they have no plan? They have no marriage plans, no kids plans, maybe buying a house or whatever. There's no plan. You guys are just literally going flying by the pants. And, she's always like, well, I've always dated that way. And I said, but has it worked? And that's when she was like, you know what? You're right. I said, has it worked? That's what you have to ask yourself. How you're dating, is it working? What you believe in the dating world, does it work? Are you getting the results that it is you're looking for? If not, you need to change them. And that's why I told her, you need to make sure they have a plan. And then I literally laid out what it is. I said, if you go on a date with a guy and you end up liking him and he ends up liking you, right? You need to ask him, what is your plan for me? And as the man, he should have a plan for you. If he does not have a plan for you, you run. You don't date him. If he says, hey, I really like you, I'm looking for a wife, I'm looking to have kids someday, I'm looking to own a home, I'm looking to travel, I'm looking to do whatever it is. And if that is aligned with what it is she wants, then she'll get on board. She'll be like, damn, I want those things too. You guys be together. And you see how easy that is? And that's the thing. Women have made this mistake. Men have made this mistake. Because I think even as men, when you date, the woman should have a plan for you. This is a man I respect. This is a man I can follow. This is a man I can get behind. This is a man I can support. This is a man I can understand. This is a man that, if stuff goes left, I know that he's got me. And that's the thing. Most men, we're also making the same decisions too. We're dating just off of looks. And then when we look what's under the hood, we're not happy. And that's the thing. Even me, and again, on this podcast, we try to keep it 100. Look, guys, I've dated women just because they've looked good. And it's gotten me nowhere. And that's why, like, where I'm at now, I try to change my dating style. I was having a conversation with a friend yesterday, and it's like, I asked myself the number one question is, can I go deep with you? Is this just going to be a surface-based relationship where it's just literally just looks? Or is it going to be, I can go deep with you? And what I mean is, I can share parts of myself that I don't share with other people with you. Can we go deep and actually have the conversations? Because I'm sure that some of you guys have people in your lives, friends or dating partners or people you've dated, however you want to look at it, where you were never able to go deep with them. It was always just a surface-based conversation. Hi, how you doing? Good, great, cool. That's it. Keep it moving. There was no depthness. And I believe that honestly, it's a waste of time for you to entertain people, friends, or a partner, like especially in the beginning of the dating phase, where you can't go deep with them. Because literally, it will fizzle out. Eventually, at some point, you need to get down to the surface. And if there's no substance in that surface, the relationship won't last. It's literally just a cover based relationship with no um, sustenance, as I said. So at the end of the day, when I date someone, I ask myself the question, yeah, she's good looking, which is important. You don't want to date someone that you're not attracted to or someone that you don't enjoy, but I'm gonna make sure that I can go deep with them. And if I can't, I let you go. I let you go find someone else. Because a lot of times we're holding on to people longer than we should. And that's another thing too. If that person's not for you, be an adult, let them go. Don't hold on to them. Because the thing is, they're going to get deeply involved. They're 2 feet in and you're 1 foot out. You're waiting to leave. You're waiting to exit. You're not both feet in. And this is why you have a lot of people in the dating marketplace that are broken. They've dealt with people who didn't go both feet in with them. They dated people that played around with their heart. They dated people that were either manipulative or lied or were a narcissist or cheated or lied. And a lot of times these people haven't healed. They haven't gone to therapy. They haven't educated themselves on dating. They haven't read books, nothing of the sort. So then they go in with this wounded heart and date another person, bring their baggage to that person. Doesn't work out. Same thing, same thing, same thing. In a relationship, you're not a healer. You're not there to heal someone's broken heart. That's work you have to do. And I've noticed that in a relationship, a lot of times people will come in a relationship with somebody and expect them to heal them, that person to heal them. That's not that person's job. You have to heal yourself. And once you've healed yourself, then you can date from a place of wholeness. A lot of people are dating from a place of brokenness. And what I mean is, I'm not calling them broken, but what I'm saying is, when it comes to their trust, when it comes to them wanting to give their all, when it comes to loyalty, because they've been burned before, they've been hurt, they've been disappointed, they've had whatever XYZ happened to them that they've never addressed. And then they end up bringing that into the relationship, expecting it to work. We all have triggers, we all have things, but you have to learn to go deal with your triggers. You have to go learn to deal with your stuff before you entertain someone else. Because now what you're doing is dropping off baggage at their doorstep and expecting them to carry it. And that goes for guys and girls. And it's not fair. They're not in a relationship to carry your emotional baggage. We've all been hurt. We've all been disappointed. I've done it too. I've brought in pain, mistrust, um, impatience into the new relationships because I was like, I can't deal with it. And I had to go learn to go deal with it. And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. All these things make a relationship complicated. Now, I can go on for hours and say there's many other things, but a lot of the times we're not dating out of wholeness. Or, and this is another reason why people make relationships complicated, they're not dating for the right reasons. They're dating because they're lonely. They're dating because they don't like to be alone. And how is that fair? Because you don't know how to be alone, you're going to go date somebody. How is that fair to them? It's not. And that's what I'm saying. You have to learn to get right, man and girls. You have to learn to function on your own. You have to learn to do the work. You have to learn to heal those wounds. You have to learn to address your pain, either from childhood or whatever it is you've dealt with, abandonment, whatever issues you've dealt. You need to learn to deal with those first before you entertain a man or a woman. Because if you don't, you're going to be causing pain. And you know what? I've left a trail of pain. I have. And I've had to address that within myself. I've dated women where literally I just got what I wanted out of the relationship and tipped. Or it's for a long period of time or short period of time. I've dated women I didn't really like them that much. But because the company was nice, I was like, hey, why not? And you see, I always think about, like, not now, but I always used to think about, man, I damaged that other person for someone else to go deal with that mess. And that is not fair either. I did like dirty to this person, treated them not well. And then when they go out into the world and like someone else or deal with someone else, now that guy has to go deal with the baggage I created. How is that fair? It's not. So that's why I'm trying to tell you guys to be very conscious of how you date. Be very conscious, be very aware, because you need to understand that your standards and boundaries protect you. That's why they're there. If you don't have standards and boundaries and you just date all willy-nilly, then what you're saying is, I'm careless with my dating. Think about it. Would you be careless with your child? Would you let anybody babysit your kid? No, you're very selective and careless with who you let watch your children, as you should be. It's the same thing in dating. You should be very careless and aware of who you date. And that's the thing. And that's just by setting up reasonable, and that's why I'm saying this, reasonable standards, not outlandish ones where like, yo, they gotta get me like a G-Wagon, gotta give me like a Birkin bag. This girl has to follow all my whims, never argue with me. I'm a dictator, whatever. It has to be reasonable 100%, because if it's not reasonable, then you limit your odds of finding the person that you want. But within reason, you will get what you want. Your standards, weed out the ones that are not for you. So the F boys, um, girls that just like to finesse guys, guys that are not serious, girls that just want to go to a club every weekend. It weeds out a lot of the people that are not for you. It doesn't mean they're bad people, and we need to start distinguishing that. They're not bad, but what they want and what you want is not aligned. They want different things. You want one thing and they want another. So how can you guys build a relationship? You're living in la la land. And a lot of the times we're very delusional when it comes to that. Instead of being honest and upfront and saying, hey, this is not working, or this is not for me. I'm sorry. I hope you find the guy of your dreams or the girl of your dreams. Yeah, it's gonna sting for a little bit, but it's better for the person to let you go. You feel hurt for like 1 or 2 weeks instead of you dragging this out longer than it needs to be. So again, I wish you guys many blessings. I'm letting you guys know that we're taking a week off because we are done with season 3. So with season 4, guys, I really appreciate it. I'm actually gonna wrap up the show shortly. I really appreciate everybody that's liked, comment, shared, subscribe, because you don't understand. Building a brand like this is very difficult. Putting the pieces together, building the content. We can just come on here and just speak, but giving you guys the topics that you want, the topics that are gonna help you date better, be better, we really have to put a lot of thought and diligence and look at videos and watch videos. That's what I do in my downtime. I study a lot of this stuff. So for season 4, I want more in-depth conversation, but I also want it to be fun. I want you guys to have a good time when you're here. I want you guys not to like us. If you like us, great. If you don't, you don't. Because we're not here to say things that you like. We're not here to tickle your ear. We're here to give you guys not our truth, but the truth. We're here to tell you guys how to date better, how to be better, how to move more appropriately so you can get the results that you want. If you want marriage, cool. We're not married, but we're going to share with you how to get that, because majority of my friends are married. Majority of them are. So I would like to be in their shoes. So I'm actually learning from them now, being single, on what to do and what not to do. If you want to be in a relationship, a lot of my friends are in relationships. So I learn from them what to do and what not to do, because I'd like to, you know, have only fruitful relationships. And that's why I'm saying that for season 4, we really want to try to focus on that, but also still have fun. We've made a lot of promises to our audiences about certain things, like the clothing line and stuff like that, which I know you guys have been very patient. Just building a brand doesn't happen overnight. We want to try to make sure that we can give you guys the best value when it comes to that, and the appropriate timing, as in a sense of making sure that the site and the clothing is everything that you guys deserve as an audience, because you guys take the time to watch us and follow us, which we greatly appreciate. So we will see you guys in a week. We're trying to get everything situated for season 4, making sure everything is solid and promotable, and we will see you guys at the end of the month. I'm really glad that I got to end the show. As I said, the reason why we started this, and I need you guys to be very understanding when I say this, I can only speak for myself, was tired, as in the sense of I was tired of getting into relationships and they weren't working. Now, yes, some relationships end and some begin, but they were ending because I was picking wrong. I either wasn't good for them or they weren't good for me. And I didn't hold myself accountable or hold myself to a standard to make those choices. I said, oh, well, she's pretty. Let me go out with her. But clearly, there were some signs that showed that she wasn't really for me. She didn't work. Same thing with the girls I've dated. They've seen some things. Yeah, he's cute, but he's not what I'm really looking for. So that's what I'm trying to say is it's really about fine tuning and really about getting right with what it is you want and being able to voice that and what it is you're looking for. Because a lot of times we'll be so afraid to tell someone what we want because we know that they're not for us, that they're going to leave. It's better for them to leave than for them to stay and for you not to get what you need from that relationship because you're going to have to try to pull it out of them and you'll be even more miserable. You will be more miserable trying to get, like, let's say you want someone that's affectionate, loving, supportive. You're going to be more miserable trying to pull that out of a person that doesn't want to give it. That's why I was trying to say date someone that wants what you want. It's just, it's vice versa. Why is a girl going to want to date a guy where he doesn't want kids and then she's nagging him for months, years and months and years to have children? Shouldn't have to be like that. That's not what love is. That's not what care is. If somebody likes you and wants you and they want kids and you want kids, you guys both want the same things. It honestly runs a lot smoother. It's like, let's say you guys are in a boat. You can't have one person paddling this way and another person paddling that way. It doesn't work. You guys will never get to your destination. So that's what you really need to figure out and understand, that when you date someone, there should be a destination. And that destination should either end in a serious relationship where you guys live together or where you guys are married. If there's no destination, why are you doing this? Are you doing this just to have the extra company, just to feel good? No, it doesn't work. You want to date somebody because they add something to your life. They add something to your life that you can't get anywhere else. And again, I'm going to say a comment here that you guys might get mad about. A lot of people like to say that they're special. They're not special. A girl will say, well, I'm special. I'm different than the rest. No, you're not. A guy will sit here and say, well, I'm special. I'm different. No, you're not. It's more of a sense of what is it that this particular individual can give to you that you've never gotten anywhere else? Do they add to your life in ways that are surmountable? So, like, let's say, for example, you're a man building your business, right? And your girlfriend's like, hey, I'm going to help you build this. I'm going to be your secretary. I'm going to add to your life. I'm going to support you. I'm going to help you get clients. I'm going to help you do this. That is something that most women don't want to do. So, that value that she's offering is just, it's unmatchable. Let's say you're a girl and, you love hiking and biking and you're dating a guy and he's like, look, we're going to go on these trails. I have it all planned out. We're going to do X, Y, and Z. I got you. I'm going to pay for the gas. You just come and you show up. That might be something that you've never had before, where a guy literally comes into your life and takes charge and you can really relax and just be feminine. You're not having to out here plan anything or, try to do everything. He's literally taking things off your plate instead of putting things on it. He's making your life easier no matter what it is you're doing. I'm not saying that women are not problem solvers, but guys, like, let's say you have a man and you have problems, like just work or business, he problem solves for you quick. He has like quick solutions. You know that your man's a very, very good critical thinker. You bring something to him, he's able to solve it quickly. Do this, and this, and this, and you'll get this result. And that might be something that you've never had before. Somebody that's quick on their feet, someone that's a problem solver, that's an insurmountable amount of value and skill. So again, I really appreciate you guys rocking with the podcast. If you guys can, as I said, comment, subscribe, whatever you feel comfortable with. We have Linktree. You guys can like all of that. All our social media platforms are on there. And, we really just want to love our audience and give our audience. That's why, as I said, we give the value first before we even ask you guys to like, share, and subscribe. We understand that you're not going to like, share, and subscribe to something where they're not offering to something to you first of value. So We're literally focused on the value first, and then based off if you guys see it as valuable or not, you guys rock with it. So again, we really appreciate you guys really tuning in and sitting down with us every morning, 3 days a week. And we're actually going to try to go on a live on uh, Instagram on the weekends, on Saturdays, and TikTok as well. So we really appreciate everything that it is you guys do. We really appreciate who you guys are, your comments, your likes. Us just really adding the value to help you guys make better dating choices, because a lot of times the reason why we've dated poorly, it's because we've led by our emotions and not led strategically. You should date strategically, and to be strategic means you need to have standards and boundaries, and ways how you go about dating. So we really appreciate it, and we will catch up with you guys in a week.